Hey, I'm Ryan Torcicollo, Petzl athlete, here with treestuff.com. Let's talk about bucket truck safety and the Z133. Did you know that the Z133 has specific requirements for bucket truck and aerial platform safety? One of them is you must wear a fall arrest system. With a dorsal attachment, you must have a rated life support anchor point, either on your platform basket or aerial lift, and all connective gates going to harness and elevated platform must have a 3,600 pound braking strength. For those of you that don't know what the Z133 is, it's also called ANSI or the ANSI Z133. It's essentially the governing body of rules in arboriculture in the United States for tree care. It's broken up into different sections between climbing, aerial lifts, felling operations, where we have different subparts and rules that kind of dictate what we can and cannot do. In it, we get into a section about aerial lifts. That would be spider lifts and bucket trucks, and what the minimum requirements that they allow for us to go aloft in. The minimum requirement that the Z133 requires, along with any manufacturer, that would be for a platform basket or aerial lift, is a fall arrest harness with a dorsal attachment, which we have here. You must also have a lanyard with a shock absorbing device, which all the Petzl Mute kits have. Here we have the Absorbica I, or the Absorbica Vario, which is the adjustable one, where we have our breakaway system. All lanyards must also have an ANSI rated gate. An ANSI gate is rated for 3,600 pounds. These are the three main requirements before working aloft. You must then make sure before moving aloft and performing any work, be connected into the life support connection on your aerial lift and the dorsal attachment. Once you're connected with a proper lanyard and proper fall arrest harness, you are then safe to perform the work and go aloft. Next, let's take a look at the different kits offered by Petzl so that you can be sure that you are working safe aloft. Well, now that we've taken a look into the ANSI standard, let's take a look at our three kits that are also ANSI compliant. Here we have our first kit. It's the most basic entry-level kit. It's the Newton Mute. Mute stands for Mobile Elevated.
Good evening, everyone. This is Cale Royer, and welcome to tonight's webinar. Tonight is a little bit of a different thing going on. We had some scheduling conflicts between with Ryan Torcicollo and the bucket truck that they got to come in and help out. So they are pre-recorded. He and Nick Bonner spent a day together recording some stuff, and then I got to go through all of it, cut it down, and good news for everybody. I got it down to about 16 minutes, so it's going to be a short one, still worth 2 CEUs, so stick around to the end. I will try to answer any questions that you may have, and then I will put the quiz. So if you've never done one of these before, the quiz that I post at the end in the comment section and in the description is going to take you to a little form quiz thing that you fill out. If you get 16 out of 20 correct on it, then you are going to earn the CEUs. It's going to be live for about 24 hours, give or take some. And then after that, you can still watch this broadcast and earn 1 CEU by passing that quiz. It does take a little while for us to update ISA, as well as for the ISA to publish all of the CEUs, because we send a whole bunch of CEUs to them and it overwhelms them every single time. So please do be patient on that. If you feel like you're missing some, go ahead and send us an email. The formatting can get a little screwy depending on if you put a space in your ISA number or not. It may or may not work. So give us an email at media@treestuff.com and we can help you with that. So some other events that we have going on. Well, right now, currently, there's a promo on Tree Stuff called the 3-Cap promo. And it is poles, 15% off pole stuff, everything in the pole and pole saws category, climbing gear and rigging gear. So almost everything in there. There are limited exclusions that apply at checkout, but those are on sale now for a limited amount of time. Just the number 3 and then CAT, like CAT, like 3 categories. The other things that we have going on here, we've got the Petzl bucket truck webinar is coming up in a couple seconds here. There's also the Indiana Tree Stuff Party on Saturday. That is my son's birthday, so I will not be attending. But if you are in the Indiana area, come on out to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can try out all sorts of gear that you don't usually get to have your hands on. You're going to meet a whole bunch of other arborists in the area, do some recreational climbing, and it's a good time. So anytime between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., come on out to that. On November 6th, Chip Drop is going to be doing a Lunch and Learn live talking about what Chip Drop is, how you can use that with your business to save some money. And then on the 9th of November is ArborJet Lawn Care Webinar. Just noticed that I spelled that wrong on the events page, so I'm going to fix that tomorrow. The 3 ArborJet guys going to come on and talk a little bit about how you can prepare your lawn for the winter, how you can talk to clients about lawn care, and the different treatments that are available. Very similar stuff to plant healthcare for trees and for shrubs. So we thought it'd be interesting to get over into a different section there. And I know a lot of people have lawn care / tree care companies. So that's what we're working on. The current webinar has been postponed. We are still trying to get a date for that. Also, if you are going to the TCI Expo in November, please make sure that you check out our booth. You will know where we are if you're there. If you could make it to the expo, you'll hear us. You'll probably hear us outside of the expo, but we have the Massive Truss with A+. We're doing that again, and the claw game inside. There may or may not be a drum set up on top of the truss. We'll see what happens. There's also going to be another big blowout party where we're going to do competitions and things like that after one of the days. So make sure that you head out to the TCI Expo, come visit us, do some training there. In this video that I'm about to play here real quick, Ryan does talk a little bit about some Petzl products, including the MUP and the MUP packages, as well as the Absorbica Vario. These are all things we thought we were going to have on the website by the time that we had this webinar going out. We're still working on getting all of those things assorted and into the warehouse, so we will have those up very soon, all those products there. But you can check out all the more details about these products on the Petzl website. There's also other non-Petzl versions of these products on there, but this is a great overview of some of the safety requirements for work aloft in aerial equipment, and as well as just general bucket truck safety. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and hit play on this and enjoy.
Platform or an aerial lift, bucket truck, spider lift. And what you're going to get in this kit, nice little Petzl bag that you can keep your Newton harness in.
Hold on. The video did not start at the very beginning. Let's try this again.
For easy storage. They also come with the Absorbica I, which has our ANSI gates on it.
Wait. I think I know what I'm doing here. Do not recall and go.
Hey, I'm Ryan Torcicollo, Petzl athlete, here with treestuff.com. Let's talk about bucket truck safety and the Z133. Did you know that the Z133 has specific requirements for bucket truck and aerial platform safety? One of them is you must wear a fall arrest system with a dorsal attachment. You must have a rated life support anchor point, either on your platform basket or aerial lift, and all connective gates going to harness and elevated platform must have a 3,600 pound braking strength. For those of you that don't know what the Z133 is, it's also called ANSI or the ANSI Z133. It's essentially the governing body of rules in arboriculture in the United States for tree care. It's broken up into different sections between climbing, aerial lifts, felling operations, where we have different subparts and rules that kind of dictate what we can and cannot do. In it, we get into a section about aerial lifts. That would be spider lifts and bucket trucks, and what the minimum requirements that they allow for us to go aloft in. The minimum requirement that the Z133 requires, along with any manufacturer, that would be for a platform basket or aerial lift, is a fall arrest harness with a dorsal attachment, which we have here. You must also have a lanyard with a shock absorbing device, which all the Petzl MUPE kits have. Here we have the Absorbica I, or the Absorbica Vario, which is the adjustable one, where we have our breakaway system. All lanyards must also have an ANSI rated gate. An ANSI gate is rated for 3,600 pounds. These are the three main requirements before working aloft. You must then make sure before moving aloft and performing any work, be connected into the life support connection on your aerial lift and the dorsal attachment. Once you're connected with a proper lanyard and proper fall arrest harness, you are then safe to perform the work and go aloft. Next, let's take a look at the different kits offered by Petzl so that you can be sure that you are working safe aloft. Well, now that we've taken a look into the ANSI standard, let's take a look at our three kits that are also ANSI compliant. Here we have our first kit. It's the most basic entry-level kit. It's the Newton MUPE. MUPE stands for Mobile Elevated Work Platform, or an aerial lift, bucket truck, spider lift. And what you're going to get in this kit, a nice little Petzl bag that you can keep your Newton harness in for easy storage. They also come with the Absorbica I, which has our ANSI gates on it and also our tearaway system. Moving down the line, getting into a little more advanced here, we have our Newton Fast MUPE. The MUPE kit comes with our Newton Fast harness, which is basically added on more comfort, better design to the Newton Basic. A lot more comfortable. We got our bag, and now we're going to jump up, and these kits are going to come with the Absorbica Vario. Vario, as discussed, we have adjustment options on it, and they also do come with the ANSI 3,600 pound gates as well. And our final MUPE kit is the Easy Fit. The Easy Fit being the Cadillac and most comfortable Newton harness Petzl has to offer. Added support across the legs and back, added pockets. Once again, also comes with a bag for easy storage, and now also with the Absorbica Vario as well. There we have our three Petzl MUPE kits, which are essential for any bucket truck safety. Next, let's take a deep dive into the three harnesses and their features. First, we're going to discuss the Petzl Newton here. It's the most basic of the Petzl fall arrest harnesses. All their harnesses offer a anodized aluminum dorsal attachment point. All three harnesses have a textile sternal attachment in case of rescue, if you had to bail out in an emergency situation, which we're going to get into with the Petzl Exo Personal Escape System. So here we can see on the basic Newton here, it's pretty much just all webbing material. One of the key features that this one is lacking versus the other two fall arrest harnesses is that you have to step into the leg loops. Once stepped in, you can then put it over your shoulders. And then all three have a sternal clip here. The Petzl kind of quick clips here. And multiple adjustment points to get where you seem fit. Make sure you have a proper snug fitting on it. These harnesses do come in different sizes. This is a size 1 here. We have 4 total adjustment points, 1 for each leg and 1 for each shoulder. Now let's take a look at the Newton Fast. Here we have the Newton Fast. You can see some key differences right here at first inspection of it. You can see that they've incorporated a more comfortable shoulder and back support material here. You also will notice that the leg loops are open, making it easier to put on. Put this on, just throw over the shoulders. We have our same quick clips here for the sternal. And 2 more, 1 for each leg. Once again, we have 4 adjustment points on this as well, shoulders and legs, and they come in different sizes. Let's take a look at the best of the 3, and my personal favorite, the Newton Easy Fit. And here we have my favorite, the Newton Easy Fit. You can see that they've added more padding across the whole back and also on the leg there. So now we have added leg support for when we're leaning back, working from an elevated platform. We still have our standard sternal quick clip here, along with both legs. Just putting the harness on, you feel noticeably more comfortable with the added leg support, especially once you cinch it up to be in proper fitting. You'll notice also they've incorporated a couple pockets here. Excellent if you're doing cable stuff. You got to put a couple washers or bolts in there. They're always sitting in the bottom of the bucket and you reached over and can't find them. Or anything else if you need to keep a cell phone handy or something along those lines. And just a reminder, all 3 of these harnesses are ANSI compliant and part of the Petzl Mute kits. Next, let's take a look at the Absorbica I and the Absorbica Vario. Here we see that both of these fall arrest lanyards come with ANSI gates. We have 3,600 pound gates on both of these, which is required by the Z133 for when working in a mobile platform such as a bucket truck or a spider lift. They both have these tearaways. Some people call them screamers, that in the result of a fall would dissipate the forces you see on the body and the truck itself, and it'll break away under force. Here we have the Absorbica I-150. It's a 150 centimeter fall arrest lanyard. And when utilized, you can see it gives us, for the most part, full mobility wherever we want to reach. At some points, it actually can give us a little bit too much mobility, which is why we're going to get into the Absorbica Vario here. So on the Absorbica Vario, you can see that it has this sheath over it here, and it is adjustable. One of the beauties of it being adjustable is that if you were in a precarious work situation where you're working over an energized conductor, you can actually shorten up your lanyard. So if there was in the event of a fall, you wouldn't have as far as a fall, potentially hitting an energized conductor, and we can tighten it up to reduce some of that fall. Or if we had to move to a much further area, or for example, when you're working in the platform basket, a lot of times those spider lifts, your anchor point for life support is down low by your feet. You can utilize this one to then have longer reach to work off of one of those platforms. And then if you had to move over into a bucket truck like this, we can shorten it back up. So it's a little bit more versatile for different pieces of equipment to be used. Either way, if you go with the Absorbica I or the Vario, both are compliant by the Z133 for fall arrest in any mobile platform because of the tearaway and also the 3,600 pound ANSI gates. Next, let's take a look at how the progressive tearing function works in the event of a fall. We've looked at the Absorbica I and the Absorbica Vario. Now let's see how they function in the event of a fall. What a tearaway does and how it functions is basically there's stitched back and forth over pieces of webbing. And as a force hits it, it will rip the stitches, adding more basically material into the system. And as it keeps dropping, more and more breaks, dissipating the amount of force seen during the fall. So here we have a 175 pound log, about the approximate weight of Nick Bonner soaking wet with his clothes on. And what we've done is we've made a termination here basically to simulate a life support termination on any sort of aerial platform. And we also have it terminated right here on the log. We've placed the log vertically as if it was a human in event of a fall, and we've put an alpine butterfly up here. So essentially this is our dorsal attachment on the green here, and right here is our bucket truck or aerial platform life support attachment. We're going to cut the green line here and then see how the Absorbica here starts to absorb the load. All right, so now we're going to go ahead. We're going to cut the green rope here and see just how the Absorbica acts. Let's do this. Should I do one quick swipe? Or? All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. And there you have it. You can see here it broke away. And one thing to keep in mind here, if you look, we got to be, I don't know, close to 15 to 18 feet high. And we still came right next to the ground there. So keep in mind when working over energized conductors or anything else, if that fall were to occur, take into account the amount of stretch that your Absorbica gives you or any other fall arrest system lanyard, and just the amount of fall that could be below you there. Now let's take a look at the Petzl XO personal escape system. So we've discussed the Absorbica lanyards and breakaways. So let's talk about if that you didn't fall out of the bucket truck, if for some reason you were stranded aloft. Either maybe the motor died, maybe there was a hydraulic misfunction, either way, stuck aloft. How do we get down? What do we do? Well, we can use the Petzl XO system, which we're going to demonstrate here. So when bailing out of a bucket, we're going to utilize one of the textile attachment points, the sternal attachment points that all Petzl fall arrest harnesses have. And here you can see I have the Petzl XO system. It's conveniently fits in one of the tool bags and can reach the ground. Once we have it on our sternal attachment here, we can then connect it to our life support attachment. This will vary depending on what type of aerial lift you're using or spider lift. In this situation here, we just have it right here where we connected before. From there, once we know that we are snug in this and that we have our weight fully in this, we can then remove our Absorbica lanyard. You will note that I do have this white rope here with an ASAP. This is just as a backup line in case something were to happen in the event of an actual emergency when you did have to bail out of a bucket. This is not required. We're just using this for a safety backup. You may notice that I have this extra white rope here. This is just added safety measure for us in this demonstration, but is not required in an actual emergency. So now that I have this and I'm snug in my sternal attachment here, I can then make my way to exiting the bucket. I'm going to choose to go on the back side here and bring it back up over the lip. I do have this platform here that I can step on. That way I can keep my system taut the whole time. If I were to exit the other way, there could be a potential for a foot or two fall there. Some situations may require that. As I need more slack, I can let this out until I know that I'm in a stable, safe working position to exit the bucket. And just inch myself over slowly until I can hang freely. Once there, I can just do a nice smooth descent to the ground. Just like that, we've exited the bucket. Next, let's take a quick look at tool tethering requirements in the Z133. We've talked about a bunch of the bucket truck requirements and safety for the ANSI Z133, but now let's talk about their tool requirements. Since 2018, the Z133 requires that all hand tools be tethered. So what does that mean? Even a small tool like a little crescent wrench like this. So what are our solutions? Well, Petzl has a bunch of handy dandy little solutions to help us with this. First off, we have a variety of small different tool bags. We have the 1.5, the 3, and the 6. We also have the tool leash here. On the tool leash, we have a double action carabiner with a captive gate to keep it centered properly, giving us the mobility and stretch that we need to perform basic tasks such as cabling a tree. We also have different attachment points here that can clip or basically girth hitch around a magnitude of tools, hammers, wrenches, pliers, whatever you see fit. We also have the interfast device. Right here is the interfast device here. And what you can see is it's a quick button release where it's also tethered back to our fall arrest harness here. So if we had to move this around or put new stuff in it, we could. We can also take it off, lower it to the ground if we needed more bolts or something along those lines. But it just clips right on, super quick here. And we do have a locking action here, so it won't fall off when we're moving around. And it simply comes off like that. Another cool feature about the interfast here is that it's not only for fall arrest harnesses. You can bring this onto your standard Sequoia or Sequoia SRT, wherever you can fit a tool holder, such as the Cara tool. Thanks for joining us at our Tree Stuff webinar on bucket truck safety and the Z133 standards for working aloft from elevated platforms. I'd like to thank treestuff.com for having me join along with Petzl. Thank you, Nick Bonner. Thank you, Kale, for doing all the hard back-end work and making this stuff turn out and look better than it probably was actually shot. And thanks to Save a Tree for letting us borrow a bucket truck today and kind of show you guys the ins and outs and ways to stay safe when working aloft. Thanks. I'm not doing that.
Operating safely.
No. No.
Give me just something.
That's so lame. And I expect you to be... Wait. And I expect you to be adhering to all ANSI Z133 standards. Raw.
Give me your loudest lion.
No, no.
Loudest
No,
lion.
I did that. I'm not doing a lion roar.
Such a bitch lion roar.
I'm not doing a lion
Let
roar.
people think that... Ah, that's the third person I got to do that on video.
All right. So, thank you everybody for watching. Hope you got something out of that. If you have any questions about anything that he talked about, any of the products that we have, you can always send us an email at info@treestuff.com, or you can contact us directly about anything that we've said in any of the videos, media@treestuff.com. You can also like this video or share it. That's always great. That's good for me. Especially if you like it and you comment like, wow, Kale's the best editor, you should you should treat him really nice, etc. That's great. So I have gone ahead and posted the link to the form that you can get to right now, and take that. And otherwise, everyone have a nice night, and thank you for joining us.